Imagine waking up in the morning and your thoughts feel like a crowded room where everyone is shouting at once. Plans, worries, doubts, memories, and endless to-dos, all competing for your attention. It feels heavy, distracting, almost impossible to focus. Have you ever experienced that mental noise? That constant chatter that doesn't let you breathe, doesn't let you feel calm, and doesn't let you enjoy the present moment? What if I told you that your mind doesn't have to feel like this? That there are simple, powerful rules you can follow every single day to clear your thoughts, to create space in your head, and to finally feel a sense of calm and control? Today, we begin a journey into 10 rules that can clear your mind every day. These aren't just quick tips. They're timeless practices that, when applied consistently, can transform the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you live. And the beauty is that you don't need anything extraordinary to practice them. You already carry the tools within yourself. Let's begin. The very first rule to clear your mind begins not with action, but with stillness. Our modern lives are full of constant stimulation. The moment we wake up, many of us reach for our phones, scroll through endless notifications, and fill our minds with noise before we even have a chance to breathe. This creates a sense of urgency and chaos from the very first moment of the day. Instead, start with silence. When you open your eyes in the morning, resist the temptation to rush into the world. Give yourself a few minutes of quiet. Sit comfortably, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to notice the stillness around you. No music, no screens, no distractions. Just you and your breath. This practice doesn't have to be long. Even 5 minutes can change the rhythm of your entire day. It allows your mind to reset, to clear away the residue of yesterday, and to prepare itself for the day ahead. Think of it as wiping a dusty mirror. The dust is your mental clutter. By starting with silence, you wipe the surface clean, and suddenly, your thoughts reflect more clearly. And here's the magic. The more you practice beginning your day this way, the more your mind learns to find calm not only in silence, but also in the middle of noise. Another reason our minds feel heavy is because we carry too much of yesterday with us. We replay mistakes, regrets, and unfinished conversations in our heads. We think of what we should have done differently or what we wish hadn't happened. This mental baggage clouds the present moment. To clear your mind, you must learn to let go of yesterday. This doesn't mean ignoring the past. It means understanding it, learning from it, and then releasing it so it doesn't weigh you down. Imagine carrying a backpack full of heavy stones. Every regret, every mistake, every disappointment is one more stone inside. The more you carry, the harder it becomes to walk forward. So every morning, remind yourself, yesterday is done. I can't change it. I can only choose how to live today. One powerful way to do this is through a simple reflection exercise. Before starting your day, write down one lesson you learned from yesterday. It could be big or small. Maybe you learned that you need more rest. Maybe you discovered that patience brings better results. Once you write it down, leave it on the page. Don't carry it in your head. This act of writing is like unloading a stone from that backpack. Each day, as you let go, your steps become lighter, your mind clearer, and your focus sharper. Breathing is the most natural thing we do, yet most of us rarely notice it. Our breath is shallow, rushed, almost mechanical, and this only fuels the restless noise in our minds. But when you breathe with intention, something powerful happens. Your mind begins to clear. Think about it. The breath is a bridge between your body and your thoughts. When you slow it down, deepen it, and bring awareness to it, the chaos in your head begins to soften. Try this. Inhale deeply for 4 counts. Hold gently for 4 counts. Then exhale slowly for 6 counts. Repeat this a few times. Notice how your body feels lighter, your heart steadies, and your thoughts lose their sharp edges. This is not just relaxation. It's clarity. Each intentional breath is like a wave washing over the shore, pulling away the clutter that sits on the surface of your mind. Do this throughout the day, in moments of stress, before important decisions, or simply when you feel overwhelmed. You'll notice how quickly your perspective shifts. Breathing with intention doesn't take extra time. It doesn't require special equipment. It only asks for your awareness. And in return, it gives you back control over your inner space. These first 3 rules are simple, but they carry immense power. Start your day with silence. Let go of yesterday and breathe with intention. With just these steps, your mind begins to open, to clear, to feel lighter. But this is only the beginning. Because as we move deeper into this journey, you'll discover more rules. Rules that not only clear your thoughts, but also help you live with more energy, more peace, and more focus every single day. So, as we close part 1, remember, clarity of mind is not something you wait for. It's something you create, one rule, one practice, one moment at a time. We have already seen how beginning the day with silence, letting go of yesterday, and breathing with intention can lighten the weight of your mind. But the journey continues, and the next rules take us deeper into the daily habits that shape clarity and calm. These rules are not complicated, yet their power lies in consistency. The more you weave them into your routine, the more your mind learns to let go of noise and embrace peace. Let's move forward. Rule 4. Simplify your surroundings. One of the hidden causes of mental clutter is physical clutter. Look around your desk, your room, your workspace. Do you see piles of objects, scattered papers, forgotten items stacked in corners? Each of these objects quietly steals a piece of your attention. Even when you're not consciously thinking about them, your mind registers the mess and translates it into tension. To clear your mind, you must clear your space. This doesn't mean living in an empty room or throwing everything away. It means creating an environment that supports focus, calm, and balance. Start small. Tidy the space where you spend the most time. Put away things you no longer use. Create a sense of order where your eyes can rest. The more you simplify your surroundings, the more mental energy you free. Imagine your mind as a mirror reflecting the world around you. If the reflection is cluttered, the mirror feels foggy. If the reflection is clean and ordered, the mirror shines. By simplifying your surroundings, you are polishing that mirror every day. Rule 5. Write it down, don't carry it. One of the biggest reasons our minds feel heavy is because we force them to carry too much information. We keep lists of tasks, reminders, ideas, worries, and deadlines all inside our heads, and the result is constant background noise. Your brain was not designed to be a storage unit. It was designed to think, to imagine, to solve. So free it from carrying unnecessary weight. Write things down. Keep a journal, a notepad, or even a simple digital list. The moment something important comes to mind, place it outside yourself. When you do this, your brain relaxes. It no longer has to guard that piece of information. It can focus on what matters right now. Writing also helps you see thoughts more clearly. Something that feels overwhelming in your head often looks smaller and simpler once it is written on paper. It becomes something you can organize, act on, or let go of. Each time you write down a thought instead of carrying it, you are clearing another corner of your mental space. Rule 6. Practice digital boundaries. Our modern world runs on screens, and while technology connects us in powerful ways, it also floods us with endless noise. Notifications, Messages, news updates, endless scrolling. All of it fills the mind with fragments of distraction. If you want a clear mind, you must create digital boundaries. Decide when and how you allow technology into your day. For example, give yourself the gift of mornings without screens. Start with your own thoughts before you invite the world's voices into your head. Limit the number of times you check your phone. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Remember that not every message, headline, or update deserves your immediate attention. When you protect your attention, you protect your clarity. Think of your mind as a garden. Every notification is like a stranger stepping into it, leaving footprints, dropping seeds of distraction. If you allow everyone in without boundaries, your garden will soon be overgrown with weeds. But when you set limits, you give your thoughts space to grow freely, strong and clear. These next 3 rules, simplifying your surroundings, writing down your thoughts, and setting digital boundaries, work like powerful filters. They stop unnecessary noise from entering your mental space and allow you to focus on what truly matters. Imagine the difference. Instead of a crowded marketplace of random voices in your head, you begin to create a quiet library where every thought has a place and silence is welcome. And this is only the halfway mark of our journey. The next rules will take us even deeper, helping not only to clear the mind, but to nourish it with strength and focus. By now, we've uncovered 6 powerful rules that lighten the burden of the mind, starting the day with silence, letting go of yesterday, breathing with intention, simplifying your surroundings, writing things down instead of carrying them, and practicing digital boundaries. Each of these rules gently clears away a layer of fog, and together they already begin to shift the way your inner world feels. But clarity is not only about removing clutter. It is also about strengthening the foundation of your mind so that distractions and chaos do not find such easy access. In this part, we move into 3 deeper practices, rules that will not only clear your mind in the moment, but also build resilience so that mental clutter has less power over you in the future. Rule 7. Move your body, move your mind. Our thoughts and our bodies are deeply connected. When the body is heavy, still, or tense, the mind mirrors that state, becoming sluggish or restless. When the body moves, energy flows, and the mind follows that rhythm, finding freshness and release. One of the greatest mistakes we make in modern life is treating the mind and body as separate, but they are not. Every step you take, every stretch you make, every heartbeat you feel directly influences the quality of your thoughts. That is why intentional movement is a daily rule for mental clarity. It doesn't have to mean hours at the gym or running marathons. It can be as simple as a brisk walk in the morning air, stretching after waking, or dancing to your favorite music for 5 minutes. Each movement shakes loose the stagnant energy that fuels mental fog. Imagine your thoughts as water in a still pond. When there is no movement, the water grows cloudy and heavy. But when you create gentle waves, the water stirs, refreshes, and clears. In the same way, your body's motion becomes the wave that keeps your mind fresh. Movement also gives the brain a chance to reset. Studies show that physical activity increases oxygen flow to the brain, improves focus, and reduces stress. But beyond science, you can feel it yourself. After exercise, your thoughts are calmer, sharper, lighter. So each day, give your mind the gift of movement. When you move your body, you also move your mind. Rule 8. Feed your mind light, not noise. Just as your body feels heavy when you eat too much junk food, your mind feels heavy when you consume endless mental junk. Every headline, every gossip story, Every pointless argument on social media fills your head with static. The truth is simple. What you feed your mind shapes how you feel. If you want a clear mind, you must choose carefully what you allow in. Think of your attention as a doorway. Every book you read, every conversation you join, every video you watch, every song you listen to is something you let through that doorway. If you allow constant negativity, chaos, or meaningless noise, then your inner space fills with that same energy. But if you choose uplifting, thoughtful, inspiring, or calming content, your inner world reflects that too. Feeding your mind light means asking yourself, does this help me grow? Does this bring peace? Does this add value to my thoughts? It doesn't mean avoiding all entertainment or living in silence, but it does mean becoming intentional. Instead of endless scrolling, choose a book that inspires. Instead of starting the day with random news, listen to calming music or a motivational message. Instead of surrounding yourself with conversations full of complaints, seek out voices that lift you higher. The mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant, they will grow. If you plant weeds, you will find weeds. If you plant flowers, you will enjoy beauty. So ask yourself every day, what am I planting in my mind right now? When you feed your mind light, you create an environment where clarity is natural and clutter has no room to grow. Rule 9. Practice single-task focus. One of the greatest enemies of mental clarity is the illusion of multitasking. We often believe that doing many things at once makes us efficient, but in truth, it fractures our focus, scatters our energy, and leaves us mentally exhausted. The human brain is not designed to carry multiple heavy tasks at once. Each time you switch from one activity to another, your attention lags, leaving behind fragments of unfinished thoughts. This is why multitasking often feels stressful, and why at the end of a busy day you may feel like you worked hard but accomplished little. To clear your mind, practice single-task focus. This means giving your full attention to one thing at a time, whether it is a conversation, a piece of work, or even something as simple as drinking a glass of water. When you do one thing with presence, your mind feels lighter, calmer, and more satisfied. Imagine a beam of sunlight. When it is scattered, its light is weak. But when it is focused into a single point, it becomes powerful enough to cut through metal. Your attention works the same way. Scattered, it weakens. Focused, it becomes unstoppable. To practice single-tasking, create simple habits. When you work, close other tabs and silence unnecessary notifications. When you eat, put away your phone and notice the flavors. When you speak to someone, look into their eyes and listen fully. These small choices build the muscle of focus, and with time, they train your mind to stop scattering itself. And here is the hidden gift. Single-tasking not only clears the mind, but also deepens the joy of living. By being fully present in each moment, you notice details you would have missed, you connect more deeply with others, and you feel a quiet satisfaction that multitasking never gives. Movement, nourishment, and focus. These three rules work together like pillars holding up the structure of mental clarity. When you move your body, you refresh the flow of energy in your mind. When you feed your mind with light instead of noise, you protect it from unnecessary clutter. And when you practice single-task focus, you sharpen its power to cut through distraction. Together, these rules shift clarity from something temporary into something lasting. Imagine combining them with the first 6 rules we already explored: silence, release, breathing, simplicity, writing, digital boundaries, movement, nourishment, and focus. 9 practices that clear away fog and build the habit of peace. You can already feel the transformation. With each rule, You are peeling away layers of weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. Your thoughts feel sharper, your breathing lighter, your awareness calmer. And yet, our journey is not complete, because there is one final rule, the 10th, and it is perhaps the most powerful of all, the one that ties everything together and ensures that your clarity is not only daily but lifelong. That is what we will uncover in the final part. We have traveled far on this journey toward clarity, uncovering 9 powerful rules that clear away the clutter of the mind. You have learned to begin with silence, to let go of yesterday, to breathe with intention, to simplify your surroundings, to write instead of carrying, to set digital boundaries, to move your body, to feed your mind with light, and to practice single-task focus. These 9 rules together already transform the way your thoughts feel, turning noise into calm and distraction into direction. But there is one final rule, the 10th, and it is the one that not only clears the mind but also sustains that clarity day after day, year after year. Without it, the other rules can fade away, because life will always bring new noise and new challenges. With it, however, your mind learns to return to clarity naturally, as if it were the most natural state of being. Rule 10. End each day with reflection. If the first rule is about how you begin, then the final rule is about how you end. Every day you live is like a journey. You encounter noise, challenges, and emotions. You take in experiences and thoughts. You act, you react, you learn, and you grow. By the end of the day, your mind has absorbed countless impressions, some valuable, some unnecessary, many unfinished. If you go to sleep without processing them, they remain like dust collecting on a shelf, slowly building into clutter. But if you pause at the end of the day and reflect, you clear the space before tomorrow arrives. Reflection is not complicated. It does not require hours of writing or deep philosophy. It simply means pausing, reviewing, and gently releasing. It is like sweeping the floor before going to bed so that you wake up to a clean room. You can practice reflection in many ways, but a simple method is to ask yourself 3 questions before sleep. What did I experience today? What did I learn today? What will I release today? The first question allows you to notice your day with awareness instead of letting it slip away unnoticed. The second question helps you take the lessons with you, so that every day becomes a step forward, no matter how small. And the third question allows you to let go of anything unnecessary, the frustrations, the mistakes, the little irritations that do not deserve space in your mind. When you do this, you free yourself from carrying today into tomorrow. Reflection is like closing a chapter of a book. Imagine reading without ever turning the page. You would be stuck, unable to move forward, endlessly rereading the same lines. But when you turn the page, you allow the story to continue. Reflection is the act of turning that page each night, preparing for a fresh start each morning. And there is another hidden power in this practice. By reflecting daily, you begin to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors. You see which habits bring peace and which bring clutter. You become more conscious of how you spend your time and attention. This awareness alone sharpens the clarity of your mind, because you can no longer be controlled by unconscious noise. Instead, you live with greater intention. Think of it this way. The morning silence sets the tone for the day, but the evening reflection seals the lesson of the day. Together, they form a cycle of clarity. You start clean, you end clean, and in between, you apply the other rules to keep your space open and light. Over time, this cycle becomes natural. You no longer wait for calm, you create it. You no longer hope for clarity, you cultivate it. The mind begins to trust itself, to return to stillness more easily, to release noise more quickly. Reflection also gives the heart a voice. Throughout the day, we often push aside our emotions to keep going, but they remain within us, asking to be noticed. In reflection, you give them space. You acknowledge them, you learn from them, and you release them if they no longer serve you. This emotional clarity is as important as mental clarity because the two are deeply connected. A cluttered heart leads to a cluttered mind, but a heart at peace gives the mind room to rest. Ending the day with reflection is a gentle ritual, a signal to your body and mind that it is safe to rest, safe to let go, safe to begin again tomorrow. It is like dimming the lights at night, creating an atmosphere of peace that carries you into sleep. When practiced regularly, this rule not only clears your mind, but also improves the quality of your rest, which in turn gives you more clarity in the morning. It is a circle of renewal. With this final rule, the 10 steps are complete, and yet they are not 10 separate steps at all, but one continuous path, one living practice. Each rule supports the others, and together they create a life where clarity is not an occasional visitor, but a constant companion. Imagine living like this. You wake with silence, you breathe with intention, you move with energy, you focus with presence, you release each night with reflection. Your environment supports you. Your digital world no longer controls you. Your thoughts are written instead of carried. Your mind is nourished with light instead of noise, and your days flow with calm instead of chaos. This is not an unreachable dream. It is a choice, a daily choice, built from small actions that anyone can take. The 10th rule, reflection, reminds us that every day is both a chance to practice and a chance to begin again. There is no perfect day, no flawless mind. There are only moments of clarity that we learn to create and moments of clutter that we learn to release. The key is not perfection, but persistence. As we stand here, with all 10 rules laid out before us, the path is clear. But there remains one more step in our journey together. In the final part, we will bring everything together, a conclusion that ties these rules into a single vision, showing how they can reshape not just your days, but your entire life. We have reached the end of our journey, and along the way, we have uncovered 10 rules that clear the mind and bring light into each day. From the quiet of the morning to the reflection at night, each rule has guided us toward greater peace, focus, and balance. But now the question remains, how do we bring it all together? How do we take these practices and weave them into the fabric of our lives so they are not just lessons we hear once, but truths we live every day? The answer lies in seeing the rules not as separate actions, but as parts of one continuous cycle, a living rhythm that carries you through the day. Imagine beginning the morning with silence, as the first rule taught us. You open your eyes, and instead of rushing into noise, you pause, you breathe, you give yourself the gift of stillness. This small act sets the tone, creating space in your mind for clarity. Then, as the second rule reminds us, you let go of yesterday. You release the weight of regrets and mistakes, choosing instead to carry forward only the lessons. With a lighter step, you breathe with intention. The third rule, calming the storm of restless thoughts and returning to the present moment. As your day begins to unfold, you apply the fourth and fifth rules. You simplify your surroundings and you write instead of carrying. By doing so, you protect your mental space, removing distractions from both your environment and your memory. You are no longer drowning in clutter or holding too many things in your head. Instead, you create order and clarity. Then, with the sixth rule, you set digital boundaries, refusing to let every notification and every distraction invade your mind. Your attention becomes something sacred, something you control, not something others can steal. As the day moves forward, you apply the seventh rule, moving your body so that your mind stays fresh, energized, and alive. You remember the eighth rule and feed your mind light instead of noise, choosing carefully what you consume and surrounding yourself with thoughts, voices, and content that lift you up. You avoid the trap of filling your head with meaningless chaos, and instead, you plant seeds of clarity, peace, and growth. You continue into the ninth rule, practicing single-task focus, giving your attention fully to one thing at a time, experiencing the joy of presence and the strength of clarity that comes when your mind is not scattered. And finally, as the day draws to a close, you arrive at the 10th rule, reflection. You pause, you review your day, you take the lessons, you let go of the weight, and you prepare yourself for a new beginning. In this cycle, every day becomes a fresh start, every night becomes a release, and clarity becomes not a rare moment, but a constant companion. These 10 rules are not complicated, but their power lies in practice. They are like 10 threads that, when woven together, create a strong fabric that supports your life. Alone, each rule brings some benefit, but together, they form a complete picture, a daily rhythm that clears your mind and strengthens your heart. And this is where the real transformation begins, because when your mind is clear, everything else in life changes. You make better decisions. You feel more present with the people you love. You handle challenges with more patience. You notice beauty in small moments. You find joy not only in success, but in the journey itself. A clear mind gives you freedom, and that freedom changes everything. Think about how often people live trapped in their thoughts, chained by worries, regrets, or endless distractions. Their minds are heavy, always running, never resting. But imagine the opposite, a mind that feels open, spacious, calm. A mind where thoughts come and go like clouds across the sky, never clinging, never weighing you down. This is not only possible, it is within your reach. It begins with one choice, the choice to practice these rules daily. You do not need to master them all at once. You only need to begin. Start with silence in the morning. Start with reflection at night. Start with one breath, one step, one written word. Each practice, no matter how small, clears a little more space. And in that space, clarity grows. Over time, these rules will not feel like rules at all. They will feel like habits, natural rhythms of your day, as natural as brushing your teeth or eating a meal. They will become part of who you are. And that is when clarity truly becomes your way of life. Not something you chase, but something you embody. Remember, the goal is not perfection. There will be days when your mind feels cluttered, when distractions overwhelm you, when you forget to pause or reflect. That is natural. The point is not to avoid clutter forever, but to know how to clear it, how to return to calm. Each time you return, you strengthen the habit. Each time you choose clarity, you remind yourself that you are in control of your inner world. Life will always bring challenges, but with a clear mind, you can face them with courage and wisdom. So as we close this journey together, take a moment to picture your life lived with clarity. Picture yourself waking with calm, living with focus, ending each day with peace. Picture yourself moving with energy, speaking with presence, thinking with balance. Picture the freedom of a mind that is light, open, and clear. That life is not far away. It begins today with the first step, the first breath, the first choice. The 10 rules are now in your hands. They are not just ideas. They are tools, practices, paths to peace. Use them, practice them, live them. And in doing so, You will discover what many people never realize, that clarity is not something you wait for, not something you hope for, but something you create every day. The fog can lift, the noise can fade, and beneath it all, your mind can shine with light and freedom. That is the gift of these rules, and it is yours to claim.